Hey everyone, welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars YouTube video, and today guys, I thought it would be fair to, considering I just got the new Jango Fett Slave one, like the UCS one obviously, because the only other one they've made is in 2002, but they are releasing a play scale one in the summer. I would like to go over my updated LEGO's UCS collection, which, with this, considering I don't have too many UCS sets, I am going to be including buildable characters as well. And then at the end of the video, I will be talking about what UCS sets I would like to get my hands on soon, like before 2026. So I'm just going to start off though with the buildable characters just so I can kind of get them out of the way. But starting off though, over here at the very end, we have the we have the buildable C3PO. This one came out back in August of 2024. And it is still on shelves obviously because it wasn't even a year ago. But it is a very nice set. I did get this one for Christmas last year. And then beside it, we also have the R2-D2, which these two were meant to go together. This one came out back in March of 2024. And I did get it, I think, back in January of this year. And we got the buildable Chewbacca, which came out in September of 2023. And I did get this for Christmas back in 2023. And I do believe, I do agree, yes, the face is pretty creepy, and it is probably my least favorite out of the three here. My favorite one is probably the R2-D2, but the Chewbacca is still nice. And then we got the oldest one on this shelf here, which is the buildable BB-8. This one came out back in September of 2017 and retired way back in July of 2019. And so I did get this one though off a Facebook Marketplace, I believe back in February this year. So I have had this in my collection for about 3 months now, but it is a very nice set, and BB-8 is probably my favorite one on this shelf here. And then we got another pretty old one right here with the buildable Yoda. This one came out back in October of 2019 and retired in December of 2022. I got this one in the summer of 2022, so I've had this set in my collection for about 3 years now, almost 3 years. And again, it does kind of remind me of the Chewbacca, just very creepy eyes, but it is still to me a really good buildable character / UCS set. And then over here by my bed, we have the buildable Droideka, which I got this one when it first came out back in May 4th of 2024. And it is retiring. I'm pretty sure it is retiring at the end of 2025, so if you want to get it, I would probably get it soon, but it is kind of an overpriced set in my opinion. I did expect it to be bigger. And it's a decent set, I'd say. But it will go really nice next to the buildable Droideka that we're getting this summer, or the buildable droid on, like, battle droid on staff that we're getting this summer. And finally, for the buildable characters, before we get into the actual UCS sets, we have the buildable Grogu, which this one came out back in, I think, November of 2020 and retired in December of 2023, but I got it back in December of 2022 for Christmas. Yes, I got this for Christmas in 2022. So I have had it in my collection for quite a few years now, and it is a pretty, I would say it is a pretty alright UCS set / buildable character. So now we're getting to the UCS sets I actually own in my collection, which in this case too, I should probably also include Master Builder series sets, but I have two on this shelf right here, as you can see. So starting off though, we have the UCS Luke Skywalker's Land Speeder. This one came out for May 4th in 2022 and retired in December of 2024, which I got this sometime last year in 2024. And I would say it is a pretty decent UCS set. Like, you get two figures with it, which being Luke Skywalker and C3PO. Not that one, the one with the one with the silver foot. But it is a pretty decent UCS set on a stand. And there really is no play features to this set though either, which does kind of suck, but it's just supposed to be a display set, so it's not really gonna be much play features, but it is super detailed though. And I get though too, like, we've had so many land speeders in LEGO, which with that, this is probably one of the last vehicles somebody or some people wanted as a UCS set, but to me though, it is still a pretty decent set to have in UCS form or vehicle. And then over here beside it, we do have the Mos Eisley Cantina, making this a Tatooine shelf here. But Mos Eisley Cantina, I would say though, it has just been, this for about a year, this was my favorite LEGO Star Wars set in my collection, but I will say the Jango Fett Slave one did probably beat it out recently, and that now taking over my most favorite LEGO Star Wars set in my collection, because this was it for a year, and before that it was the 2014 Star Destroyer. But I do, with this though, this is still my second favorite set in my collection. I love all the figures you get. I think you get about 21 figures. And this set too does have a lot of play features, which I did review this set a few months ago. So if you want to go check out that review, you can, because the whole set too can really open up, which is a really nice play feature. But I do love all the figures it has. And the set came out back in October of 2020 and just retired recently in December of 2024. So it does suck though that this is off shelves now, but I think it will always remain as one of the best LEGO Star Wars sets of all time. But yes, as I was just saying, my new most favorite LEGO Star Wars set in my collection, Jango Fett Slave 1, which this one just came out for May 4th of 2025. And I still didn't even expect this coming. It's still just crazy to me to think that this does exist. Reminds me of like the UCS Venator a bit, where like it's so crazy to think that it actually exists in LEGO, but it does. And yeah, we get two minifigures in this, being Jango Fett and young Boba Fett. And the one thing though I do like about this one is, unlike the land speeder, this does actually have play features, which I gotta move to show you. But seriously, I do think this is probably one of the highest quality LEGO Star Wars sets we've ever gotten. And honestly, to me, comparing this to the UCS Boba Fett Slave 1 back from, I believe, 2015 or 2016, this just completely throws that older UCS Slave 1 to the ground. I think like a 10-year gap, like really threw that to the ground, I'd say. Which, yes, obviously you can take the set off the stand, but in this case I'm not going to, so I can show you all the play features. But obviously these bottom turrets can move 360 degrees, yeah, they can move about 360 degrees, but like just barely. You do the loading ramp, which as you push it down, the door opens, and then the wings move as well. And you do have an interior, or wait, you gotta lift up the windshield, because the reason why too, I think this one has a lot more play features than the land speeders, because this one is minifigure scale and the land speeder isn't. But you've got about 5 seats to put minifigures in, which the top 3 can slide out and show you a pretty detailed like driver seat. And you can also take out this back part, and you can put like a Jango Fett's like jetpack and blasters behind it. And then you can slide that back in and put that back on. And then if we slide it around to the back, you can see we have, if I can get it off, you can take these off and let out the bomb. I don't really remember what it's called, but essentially that huge explosion that happened back in space in Attack of the Clones when Boba Fett was, or when, not Boba Fett, but when Jango Fett was chasing Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then yeah, the turrets, or the back thrusters on this set obviously just look magnificent. And now I did save this part for the end of the video, guys, but what UCS sets would I like to add to my collection before the end of 2025? Well, the UCS Razor Crest is retiring, so that's one I definitely want to add. One I really do want to add still, but at this point now I'd probably have to get a built one used, and that would be the UCS AT-AT, which already retired. And then I would also like to try and get the UCS Death Star before the end of the year as well. Ones that I'd like to get for the future though, like past 2025, would be the Venator and Sail Barge. But thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video soon. Bye.